And we are live. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. And I also want to thank you for being patient with me. Yesterday, this old fart needed some rest. I have been burning the candle at both ends, decided, you know what, I'm just going to sleep in. Went back to bed and slept until 2 p.m. So clearly I needed it. Before we dig into this, you'll see both Paula and Eric here, and I want to take a moment as we roll into 2026. We're going to be talking about where am I taking the channel in 2026. It's going to be important. I'm going to be a little bit more coordinated with my efforts, but I want to thank Paul and Eric. The holidays have come up. There was a surgery involved, and Paul and Eric both haven't been here for a couple weeks, but I want to thank both of them personally for a wonderful 2025. The amount of information that was gathered and discussed, our amazing pre-stream antics.
My favorite.
Always, right?
But it's just these two people have really come alongside to help inform, to feed information. And I want you to do me a favor. Everybody who's in chat, just say thanks, Paula and Eric. Because you guys have done a lot for me as friends. I've learned a ton from you guys. And just the engagement into the channel. You've helped grow the channel. You are as much a part of Frostbite Coins as I am. And I just appreciate you. And I wanted to say so publicly. I know Eric has some stuff he's got to get taken care of today. But I just wanted to publicly say thank you to you two. I really appreciate all you guys have done. There's a number of other people. Mike Noodle, what's going on, Mike? How you doing? Another great person. Jack Riley, Jack Young. There's so many amazing people. Eric, 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I don't know who's going to get them. I think 949 gifted everybody memberships last week.
Rockzilla got one.
JL Santario, A-Toning Phoenix, Jeff Davis, and Stacking Surfer. That's ironic, actually. Did you guys see what 949 did my last live stream?
Surfer, buy your own membership. Right?
949 gifted 50 memberships on my last live stream.
Wow.
Trying to get through. Yeah, unreal. There were a total of 85 gifted memberships on that stream from people in chat.
You hit your 7K?
I hit my 7K.
Yay, congratulations.
Yeah.
Morning,
last night, Tiger and I were doing a membership stream, and I only needed 2 or 3 more, and they put the word out, and boom, 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 done, got it. So, yeah, it was, Sue, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. So you can see 949. Again, most of you that are green probably owe it to him. So please make sure you say thanks to 949. But thanks, Eric, for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you.
Good morning, Sue. How's your shoulder? Mine's killing me. My physical therapist did a job on me the other day. Gotta
take my shot. Sorry.
No mercy.
Good morning, Amy.
No mercy.
How is the shoulder, Paula?
You know what? For the first time in, I can't even remember the last time I could raise my arm above my head. I can raise my arm above my head.
Yay!
Yep.
That's a win. I know when I tore my rotator cuff, it took me a long time to get that through. So the fact that you're doing it this quick after surgery is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing like I bought myself the pulleys and I'm all alone, so I can't afford to be just sitting on my arse.
Yep.
I don't eat if I don't move. So, yeah. I probably am pushing it a little too far, but you know what's funny is that I watched a lot of videos about recovery after shoulder surgery, and there are some doctors that want you immobile for 6 weeks, period. Like no question, you got to be in your sling for 6 weeks and that's it. And then there's others that hardly want you wearing your sling at all. So what I did is I just did what my physical therapist did. So if they moved my arm up, then I figured moving my arm up was fine. If they can do it, I can do it. So
Yeah, as
you
long as the
know,
initial stuff is healed.
you know your own body, right?
Yeah.
Well, and you're doing all the right stuff. That's the thing that matters. I don't agree with total isolation. You need to start again. My wife works for a spine and surgical hospital, and they do hips and knees and all that stuff.
Mm.
And we do Christmas dinners and all sorts of stuff with all those doctors, and they're always telling you up and at it, quick as you can, get moving,
Movement.
faster you
That's
can get
right,
back to it,
movement
the
is
better you
best
are.
thing.
So you're doing
Even-
all the right stuff.
I am
Even
already
carcass
grumpy
movement.
grasshole. I am already better than I was before my surgery.
I love that name, by the way.
Yeah.
Grumpy grasshole. That definitely is my new favorite YouTube name.
Yeah, it's well, and then I like Mike's
Use it or lose it.
anonymous user one too. So
Well, I have an issue with that because I didn't know it was Mike and I didn't know it was fake. Like I just kept using it over and over and over again.
him and I were texting each other. He's like,
I
Paul
know
has
you
no idea
were.
this is me.
He finally texted me.
Oh, that was funny.
I didn't know.
Yeah. What's up, numismatic nurse? How you doing? Good to see you. Luther, thanks for sharing out. I appreciate you dropping the link. We did get a new subscriber, Anthony Conseza the second. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you being here. Luther, thanks for the support. Luther just sent me some new images of
Anthony
things.
is part of our little private chat group.
Cool. Yeah, but I appreciate you pushing the word, brother. That means a lot. We're actually going to get Luther. I've been talking to him about getting him on so we can talk about some of these Vice issues and these Vice coins. Look through some of this stuff.
He made a great collage. Luther has fun.
He sent me some amazing coins to show some examples of things like dryer coins and Vice coins and stuff. And so I've asked him if he's willing to come up. He is actually part of the 2026 discussion.
He should come up.
He just does a lot of neat things. And I really want to start pushing some additional people that are really trying to do some great things for the hobby. We're going to talk a lot about that today. Today's kind of a loosey-goosey.
Numismatic nurse. There you go. Okay, that's Anthony. Numismatic nurse.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's Anthony. I didn't know that was you. Okay.
But it's gonna be loosey-goosey. We're gonna just kind of roll with the discussion today. But what I want to do is I want to break down what my goals are for 2025. Again, I set my goal, or excuse me, 2026. I set my goal for 2025 at 7K. My goal was somewhere between 7K and 75K, knowing that 75 was going to be at the far ends of being able to get there. My goal for 2026 is between 10 and 12K. So I'm looking not quite to double. I think trying to double in the semi-quincentennial is going to be tough, but I think there's a lot of good opportunity. But what I do want to do is I really want to focus on something that is, it's a calendar base. I want you guys to be able to know what I'm going to be talking about a couple of weeks ahead of time. So I'm generating a calendar of topics. Now, how those roll out might shift slightly, but I kind of want to roll a kind of like a 5 or 6 scenario plan where I do exactly what I've done with the mints. Number one, I want to talk about Philadelphia and San Francisco. Those are going to be the two next major topics. I'll do the same thing that I did during the holidays. Looking at San Francisco first, breaking that down, talking about the gold rush, what happened with it. I'll create my story. We'll talk about some fun facts, and then we'll look at coins, estimate marks on that Sunday. We'll do the same thing. The last one is going to be Philadelphia. Philadelphia is going to be probably a 2-hour stream. There's tons and tons of history. But then what I want to do is I kind of want to break down and get into basically kind of a 5-set approach. Okay, so I'm going to do what's called building a content ecosystem. And so I want to look at discovery, how you find things. So we'll be talking about varieties and errors. I've talked with Jack Riley. I just talked with Paul and Eric prior about some of the things I want to do, really trying to understand and identify these things and how you can genuinely find stuff in the hobby, how you can actually look through and what to look for, what those resources are, really kind of get back to that. I've kind of stepped away from that a little bit as I was learning more about personal growth and development moving into 2026. I'm still going to do some finance stuff and I'm still going to do some stacking stuff. It's important to really go through. So Jack Young says the mint discussions and the coin discussions were cool. I've gotten tons of great feedback, Jack, on that. People have loved that setup. I'm going to continue it. And so the way that's going to roll out is that Saturday, and it may not necessarily be a story, it may just be history. We'll be talking about the histories of those elements, those items. For instance, Paul, at the very beginning, we were talking about a coin, the 7677. Talk about the history of those, right? Kind of like what we did with the Richmond dime. Break that out. Walk through those things.
God.
Right?
Every time you say that, my butt puckers.
Not to be confused with sour pucker or Smuckers. But the thing is I've gotten great feedback when we do that. And there's a lot of people that like it. The subscribers come in, people who are casual watchers, they end up wanting to stay and they end up asking more questions. So we're going to continue to do that. And then the one thing that I'm going to do is that my live streams are going to tease the videos. And so I'm going to create something, and it may not be a summation, but it's going to be something maybe we didn't talk about for that previous item. We'll dig into it. For instance, when Eric was on, we were doing the 1960, he found 2 amazing high collectible varieties. And talk about those, right? Represent what it was that was discovered and why it's important, and actually break that down. And so what that video would look like is Eric and I talking about that discovery, what happens, how you can do it, where he got the rolls, how he purchases it, and then give people the information about how people do it. Bring people like Dirty Water up, right? The people who constantly look at these things. What is it you look for? How do you set yourself up? And bringing more people in to talk about what they do in the hobby. It seems like there's a lot of interest in what other people are doing and how they all tie together, right? What are the commonalities? But I really want to kind of get back and, again, like I said, I deviated a little bit from it because I needed to get myself into a situation where I was better after some of the things that happened. I needed to understand where I was financially. I needed to make some decisions. I needed to do some study. I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to continue that, just not quite as much, and it's going to look a little bit differently. But we're going to cycle this over, again, 5-6 weeks. We'll cycle through these things, and then we'll repeat. And we'll be doing that over the course of the year. So I will be providing you a calendar that's going to talk a lot about spotting fakes, the difference between the cheap Chinese fakes and some of the really nice ones that Jack has been going over. Really digging into the mint items. How does an RPM actually occur? What does that look like? Looking at some of the recent examples of dies. We've gotten a lot of really good images of dies. Bringing up some people who have been in the hobby for a long time that I haven't just reached out to yet. Trying to get some more people on here. Really, really want to kind of, again, be that center house for a lot of information, a lot of, I can't learn all this stuff. I'm learning more. But really bring up the people who do this stuff and talk about it all the time. But I will be doing lots of history discussing. We're going to be talking a lot after the mints are done. We're going to hit the Revolutionary War. We're going to talk about the Declaration of Independence, semi-quincentennial. We're going to be visiting some of the semi-quincentennial releases during the year and talking about what's going on and if we're finding things in that realm, because it's going to be a hot item. I have to stay relevant in that regard. What does a drop letter really look like? Yeah, exactly. Right. So, really dispelling some of those myths, and I'm going to continue to work on dispelling a lot of the crap that's out there on social media and these, $30 million pennies and $330 million and the $1 trillion coin that was just found. I love it. But this is where I'm going in 2026. And so what I want to do is have just conversation. Paula, Eric, talk about some things that you guys want to see, not only from the hobby, things that you guys want to look at, but things that you want to see in mine. And then I also want to talk to chat and find out some of the stuff that they want to do. Setting goals for 2026, prices are high, maybe small platinum and 90%. Yeah. So what are you investing in? What are the things that you're looking at? You guys know that I'm looking at platinum this year. Talked a lot about that. Platinum is going to be my metal focus for this year. I've explained why I'm focusing on that. So yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about those things as well. What's the difference between somebody who's melted copper onto a coin versus a real cud? How do you tell those things? What are the signs and symptoms of those things? Ping tests are great if you have good ears, but how effective is it? What are those ultimate tests that you can check for? How to spot mis and disinformation, right? So there's just a ton of things that we can look at in the year. So I am, like I said, I'm building a calendar. Right now I'm sitting at about week 20. I've got quite a few more to do, and then I'm going to coordinate some of those. It's obviously up for change a little bit, but I want you guys to have an idea. And I won't give it too far ahead of time. If I do that, I'll feed more information than I want to necessarily to the people that I'm competing against in this field. But I want you guys to be informed. So I'll be notifying you the week before. We're going to be talking about this next week. This is where we're at. This is what you can expect. If you have people that are interested in it, bring them along. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview, and just let's have some discussion about it.
I'm sorry, you guys are hearing my fingernails on the keyboard. Sorry, I'm having a discussion with somebody.
You can let your cell phone listen to the ping. It has perfect pitch.
I
Yeah,
am.
absolutely.
I am. That guy's telling me that he bought that 1939 supposed proof at an auction house, a big auction house.
Oh.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that, or you want to skip that one for today?
I will talk about anything you want me, your little heart desires. After the nice things you said about me earlier, I'll do whatever you want me to do, sweetums.
Well,
Yeah,
and again, go ahead, Eric.
I says I was blushing a little bit.
Well, it's not meant to kiss ass.
Yes, no Woody, Jack. Jack
Jack
Riley's already seen it this morning. Yeah, the lacquered 1939 proof. Oh my gosh, that thing still got. And listen, Jack Riley, any good auction house, first of all, on a night, if it was a 1939 proof, would have removed all of that goopy lacquer that's on that crappy coin.
And would you consider eBay a big auction?
And probably would have had it certified, since there's only like 13,000 and change 1939 proofs, right?
Is there that many?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
37's 9,000 then, right?
So, Eric,
Very
actually, you make a
low.
really good point.
Very low.
eBay is a large auction.
Yeah,
I
there's
wonder.
a large
I wonder
auction
if
house.
it's a play on words.
He said he got it from Gold Standard Auction House.
Gold Gold
I don't
Standard
even know who that
crap.
is.
Oh,
But
sorry.
yeah,
They're just they're a seller on a platform called HighBid,
yeah. Oh,
and they sell good stuff too. But you got to be. It's one of those people. You got to be careful. You can buy a lot of stuff that's questionable.
But they're
I don't
located
know
out of
anything
Dallas.
about them. All I know is that it's not a high-end auction.
It is not. It is it's an actual seller on a platform called HighBid. And I mean, they do. If you buy stuff from them, they phone canvass you afterwards and ask what you want, and then they'll say, "Hey, if we get this, can we call you?" But it turns out that when they do send you information, it's just to lead you to their high bid auctions again.
Ooh, bellows. That's an interesting question. I don't think there's any way to truly assess that. What is the estimated volume of fakes on the market? I don't think you can. I don't think you can put a number on it. It's high.
I love British pennies and half pennies.
Yeah. Jack Young may have a better insight. I know talking with the ACEF, the numbers are outrageous. In fact, the numbers are so high on that they won't even target cases under $1 million. So, yeah,
Well, did I
it's
see a post somewhere that they're finding a bunch of counterfeit 1997 quarters clad?
maybe. Well, there was a big issue years and years and years ago with quarters. I don't remember the years,
Not
but
in
it's
the
been
same
around for quite a
coin.
while.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was just like it's circulating coinage, and they did it because they could make it cheaper than a quarter and make money off of it.
Well, and again, Canada has a significant issue with
On
counterfeit
toonies.
coins. The toonie, yeah, and they just affectionately call it the camel toe, because if you look at the hoof of that polar bear or the bear that's there, you see that it's split in two. Looks more like a camel hoof than it does anything else. But it's such a problem with them; they just circulate, but they know they're there. When people find them, obviously they pull them out. I've got a number of friends in Canada who, when they find that they pull them out and they set them aside, but the volume of them is just outrageous. So could we have the same thing in our coinage? Absolutely. I don't doubt that at all. But I'm trying to
James,
find.
Cad Roll Hunter does a lot of those toonie hunts and finds always every box he finds counterfeits in it.
Yeah, he's one of the people that I was referencing. So does Coin Junkie. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who find those things. I'm trying to find the quarter because I will drop that in there.
Yeah, how can it not, Coach, is magic?
Eric, I'm going to save you a picture of this. Hang on a second. I'm going to send you a picture of this auction. They really doctored that photo. He said he's going to contact. He said he's going to contact them concerning that coin. He should.
Mike, Luther just spit coffee all over his keyboard. By the way, thank you for that. Oh, Mike said it's called a moose knuckle.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, if you ever see one of those, let me see if I can pull up an image of that.
See, it's on HighBid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. I want to send you the picture of his coin. Did I just?
I think it's the same coin. They just got it.
It is the same coin. It's just super doctored photos.
Yeah, that coin has been run on a scanner, not on a camera.
Yeah, it's just really doctored photos. His photo, you can let. Okay, I'm going to put this up here. I want to show you guys this coin because you guys are probably
Yeah, pull it up, please.
what's going on. Let me open this in a new tab. This is. I'll show you the coin. Mike, are you still here, Mike? Okay, hang on, because I'll show you this coin that we're talking about. You guys, get you in the loop here.
Oops.
Don't show the moose knuckle. Okay, I won't, Luther.
Okay, there you go.
Eek. There you go, Mike. What do you think, Mike? And when I say this coin's been lacquered, you guys, just back in the day, like they used to do that. Like they used to put lacquer on coins, and it was a perfectly acceptable way to preserve a coin.
Looks like Lincoln's wearing a wig.
Yeah, you see the basin, where the rim is. There is no. It's usually really deeply struck around the
Well,
rim.
yeah, like Luther says, look at the back of the head. That is a buildup of gunk on there.
Yep.
You can't see the detail of the design because it's a buildup of gunk, muck,
Yep.
caca,
All through here.
caca.
So here's the other one that we were talking about. This is what I was talking about with the toonie. So you'll see the difference. That's the normal one, and then
The moose knuckle.
moose knuckle, the camel toe, whatever you want to call it.
I
Yeah,
don't
so
see-
that's one of the identifiers. But there's a lot of that stuff out there, and so
it does need an acetone back.
Yeah, at a minimum, it needs that to
but
start.
I don't believe that's a proof.
Yeah, if you look up at the top by the rim, it should have a real sharp square edge and then a real deep where the design is struck, and it sinks down even more than a business strike. It is a relatively square rim.
So are 1939 business strikes.
Yeah, well, I was going to say for a business strike.
If you go on to PCGS Coin Facts, because I don't just I don't just say things. Like if I'm because I don't have these things all in my head memorized.
This coin's got abrasion damage on it too. You can even
I
see it
went
on the
on-
rim.
Well, yeah, they probably tried to scrape the crap off of it. I went on to PCGS Coin Facts and I looked at their business strikes because certain years and certain mints are
Sure.
known to have like more squared off rims. Because the strikes are stronger and maybe they have a more squared off rim gutter on the die. And 1939 is one of them. And anybody that sold this as a problem-free proof coin.
Yeah, it's not problem-free.
Yeah. So,
have a great day, War.
Anyway, he said he's going to contact the auction house and the auction house.
So there was a question.
Condition.
Yeah.
There's a question in chat I want to address. B Woods, what would you suggest with coins with gunk? Not clean it and put it in a 2x2, or clean the gunky ones if they need it. My personal thing is it depends on what the coin is and what your experience level is. Yeah.
Is there a good reason that, like rolling machine wax? I usually don't clean anything if I don't. There has to be a reason for it. Like if I'm photographing a coin and there's a big blob right in the middle of the date or the mint mark, I will see if I can pluck it off with a Q-tip without touching it. Sometimes you got to get a xylene or acetone on it to dissolve it. But very rare. For the most part, most of the coins I touch aren't worth cleaning anyways.
Yeah.
So I just leave this stuff.
Yeah, make sure you're not spending more on what you're using to clean the coin with than the coin is worth.
That's another good point. Yeah. The other thing is if you're going to clean a coin that has any kind of value, do it. Practice on a couple coins that don't.
That are junk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's take the cleaning word
But
out of it and use conserving.
Conserve, right.
conserving,
And
yeah.
yeah, and don't think that you can conserve and then they can't tell because they have all different methods to tell.
Oh yeah. Do they still have sniffing dogs there?
Not dogs. They've got a little the same gun that
Well,
tells the
for the
real
most
color
part,
that
a
tells them if
pure
it's alcohol.
acetone soak with a distilled water rinse, pat the coin dry, don't rub it. For the
Yeah,
most part, that's perfectly acceptable and a
that's
safe
right.
way to.
Well, even
Um,
this stuff right here, I have never opened it.
If you have a coin with a mint mark and you wanna see inside the mint mark, or you have
Right.
something that has, like, gunk buildup around a date or something like that, take a wooden toothpick or a rose thorn and gently get in there with it, because it's not gonna scratch the coin, but
Like
don't
that
dig.
MS-70.
Yeah.
Uh, they won't bust it because it's basically soap and water. That's what it is. Uh, but don't rub. That's the mistake people make is they start rubbing because
Well,
something's not coming off.
and I'll
Some
also
things
say
don't
if you're
come
gonna
off.
use something like that, don't put it in a separate container and then dump it out. Don't use it from coin to coin to coin to
That's right.
coin.
That's right.
Um, Anything you use it on a single coin and then dump it out.
But I literally have that, and I've got Verticare, and I've got Xylene, and I have opened none of them. And
You're
I,
talking about more like advanced stuff.
this is almost 10 years worth of Xylene use. I've used
Xylene, I would just use on mint state BU coins. I wouldn't use that.
well, Xylene. If you use it, if you put enough on a copper coin, it will tone the coin. So will acetone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it will change
Just
the
make
color.
sure when you're using stuff like that, you're not utilizing nail polish, even though it has it in it.
Right.
It's
And
a
like
very
the
harsh
Xylene,
chemical. It's got to be the pure xylene.
The thing about copper coins and the thing about acetone is if you have a circulated coin, there's organic material on that coin. You don't know how that acetone is going to react to anything any
it is
organic
not a
material
dip.
that's on the coin.
That's right, Mike. It's soap and water. It's
Yeah.
potassium hydroxide. Soap is sodium hydroxide. So it's just basically super soap.
Yeah. So the bottom line here is number one, don't clean a coin. Okay.
Yeah.
Number
That's the best
two
rule of thumb.
is
Yeah.
if you're going to work on, again, conservation, not necessarily clean it, know what you're doing, right? Don't just get in and think you're gonna get it right the first time. How long it stays in the chemical is going to cause issues as well.
Dawn detergent
using-
has more than just soap. That's why.
Yeah. So using it for multiple coins could potentially cause issues. Knowing that even though you have experience doing it, there's still a great potential for you to ruin a coin. Because I've seen people who have had great experience utilizing stuff, they've dipped silver, and all of a sudden the coin turns black because of an improper cleaning earlier.
Exactly.
So
Mike.
there are lots of issues. So
And even
again,
Q-tips can scratch a coin.
yep.
That's what I'm saying. You really got to be careful. I'm trying to find a coin that's got a grease blob on it.
Don't ever rub a coin. If you use a Q-tip with pure acetone, just roll it.
That or just kind of dab it a little bit. Yeah. And then roll
The
it.
only time you should ever rub a coin is if you're a metal detector, and that's just because you're.
Oh gosh, my butt just puckered again.
Oh, that always makes me cringe.
Cringe. Oh.
It's like, no, you don't know what you have yet.
it.
Don't do that. Oh my God. And you hear him.
Oh, it just,
Like, no. Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But again, yeah, rule number one, don't clean your coins. It's just not a good thing to do. But study anything you're going to be good. Like, finding a coin, looking at a coin, buy the book before the coin. Do your research first. Ask lots of questions. There are a lot of people who have done conservations professionally. Ask them. And if it's a high value one, don't risk it. Send it in.
Luther, old folks think that too, because it used to be an acceptable way. Pencil erasers used to be an acceptable way. People used them all the time back in the day.
There was a lot of things. Like we
There
were
were a
talking
lot
about
of
earlier.
things. Yeah. So
Deller's made a product that was a coin preservative that they would dunk the copper coins in, and it turned them red.
Things have changed over time. Cleaning coins used to be perfectly acceptable. So, and like I said, lacquering coins used to be perfectly acceptable. The grading companies kind of ruined all that for
Well,
people.
look at in the early 2000s.
Good morning. Are you in Florida?
Everybody wanted blast white silver coins.
Fact.
And it was everybody was dipping their coins.
Yeah.
I still like blast white coins.
Me too.
I don't mind an occasional bit of toning, but I'm not a big fan of that multi-rainbow. I want to see the
It's a
coin.
lot more frowned on now than it was back then. Dealers were just dipping coins and sending them in to get graded.
Yep. B Wood's got another question.
Really good at it because they did it so much. They never got busted for it. There's still dealers that do it that don't get busted for it.
B Woods asks another question. With silver prices high, I scored a mega uncirculated and just awesome silver world coins, now melt value. But what is the true value of numismatics and how will it go up in time? That's a really difficult question to ask.
It is.
Because I will say this, if you listen to, and you look at prices, I had this conversation with Tiger yesterday. He was telling me if you were able to buy a 1 ounce coin right now, gold, what would it be? And I was like, God's double eagle. I mean, no question asked. Right. And he's like, well, why wouldn't you buy a gold eagle? And I'm like, the numismatic value, it has not caught up to the silver or the precious metals price. And so it's a really good time to buy pre-33 gold. It's a really good time to buy some of those higher end pieces because the numismatic value just hasn't quite caught up. Just like that, when silver prices or gold prices fall, they'll tend to hold their value a little bit better. A great example of that is the premiums that were done on the Silver Eagles for quite some time because Joe McBride, what's up, brother? Good to see you. The premium, again, Silver Eagles were $24, $25, but the premium, you were paying $38 for them.
Morning, Joe.
So sometimes those prices, the numismatic value won't move up as fast or down as fast.
It definitely lags. The numismatic value lags.
If you're looking at a good time to buy pre-33, if you're looking at a good time to do silver foreign coins and stuff like that, if you're buying it for the numismatic value, you better research it, right? Because sometimes things go up, sometimes things go down. But it is a good time to be buying those items that are normally would be higher because of the numismatic price that just aren't there. I don't know how else to explain that.
I can give you a little example.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
In the summertime, I was going through, there wasn't a lot of Lincoln cents to look through. I was going through a box of dimes, and I went through this box of silver dimes, and he had a whole bunch of what's considered the key date Roosevelts, 49S, 50S, stuff like that. And I bought them basically at under melt, and they're the key dates. And then about 3 months later, they went up. I bet you now when I go, they'll be at melt again. They're going to stay at melt until melt stabilizes.
The real Mike Petty, lucky for you, we have some coin dealers in the chat. So Mike Noodle, can you read that comment? Do you have a comment on that comment? A comment on the comment.
But they got bills to pay at the real Mike Petty. You got to pay for the power, the help, the building, the taxes.
Well, are we talking about dealer? Are we talking about dealer else yet? Are we talking about coin dealers that have shops or coin dealers that go to shows and only sell at shows? Are we talking about coin dealers that, sell on whatnot?
Yeah, he
Because
said,
not all coin dealers have overhead like that.
yeah, he did. A coin has two values: the
I just
numismatic
put it back in
value and the
chat too.
intrinsic value. Yeah.
Yep. I
Yeah, and
think
again, so
he might be talking about like junk silver. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well,
well, I
that
was talking
too.
about world coins and stuff like that. But again, when you're talking about collectability is to each their own. What do you mean by a collectible coin? There are bullion coins that people pay up for because they consider them collectible. So if you're the truest in stacking, you're concerned about weight. And that's cool if that's what you want to do. But most people are not truists. Most people have their stack. They have pieces that they like to collect, and then they have their pure collectibles. Collectibles are something that if you're not careful, you can absolutely overspend. I do agree with that. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you can get good collectibles for a good price. And so you have to be careful. And it goes back to my two favorite words, caveat emptor. It's up to the buyer to understand the value and what's there and what's the potential gain and loss. What we try to do here is try to inform you as best we can, and then it's up to you to make the decision.
Okay, I just want to say that though that don't confuse coin collecting the hobby with stacking the I don't want to say investment, but most people who are in the numismatic hobby do it for fun. We don't do it because we think we're going to make a huge profit off of it, or unless you go into it to become a dealer, to actually make money.
Well, like
Most
I said,
of us are in it for the hobby, for the fun of it, for the collecting part of it.
the way
So
to make $1 million
don't
is to
confuse
start with
the
$1
two.
million.
Don't confuse the two. And the hobby part of it, they're all different aspects. I mean, you can collect all different kinds of things in the hobby.
Yeah, and again, Mike, that's
Yeah,
true. If you are a purist, and we had this discussion with Silver Dragons a couple months ago, a statement was made. We had him on Tiger Stacker's channel. We were talking about some things. I think it was on a Stack Collector, and it's really easy when you come into a stream and you say something. You have to remember what they're referencing, right? So on this channel, we talk about collectibles and stackables. So there's some stacking stuff. And again, if you want to get into the purist sense, should you stack pours? No, absolutely not. You're way overpaying for those. But there are some pours that are absolutely amazing. And I have some pieces that I absolutely overpaid for. I know I'll never get the value back should I have to sell them for silver content, but that's okay. I enjoy them. And that's what the collectability portion is. If I'm collecting precious metals, now again, if we'll reference platinum on my end. I've just started getting into platinum. I'm not collecting platinum. This is stackable. This is consolidating my stack. This is consolidating my weight. I don't care if it is a Canadian maple leaf or if it is a Canadian or American eagle. I don't care if it's a cougar ant. I don't care what that is. I'm going to be looking for the best price because I'm stacking that for weight, not for its collectability. So when we're in conversations like this, if you're a purist, and again, I tell people all the time, stackers, a truest stacker thinks we're nuts because we're spending money on money. But it's just like anything that you collect. It doesn't matter if it's toilet paper rolls. Chuck Daughtry collects license plates, the little ones you used to have out of the cereal. To each their own with what they collect. But you can't expect the collectible to carry its monetary value. We've saw that with stamps, right? Stamps for a number of years all of a sudden, boom, they fell through the floor.
Yeah, almost
So
any stamp dealer around here in Florida,
yeah,
you go. I've seen people come in because they're usually coin shops too. And they'll bring a stamp collection, and the guy will literally hand them a sheet and say, "Are any of these stamps in there?"
yeah, because there's only a dozen of them that are really
It may be
highly
20.
sought after anymore.
And
Yeah,
if they say yes, he looks at it. If they say no, and he says, "Are they, mint state, or I don't even know what they call uncanceled, or?" And if they say yeah, he basically pays them the value. He has a kid that'll go through and pays him the value of the book, and he'll use it to mail with most of them.
yeah.
Uh, Especially like plate blocks and stuff. Like, you go to the fun show, there'll be a guy selling plate blocks for half off cash value, and these guys will be sending packages, and the whole box will be wrapped with postage stamps because it's half off, because they're still good. Postage stamps never expire.
Yep. And again, the real Mike Petty, stick to your strategy, whatever your strategy is, right? And so it's funny because
He just collects bulk silver.
say again.
I'm guessing that he collects bulk silver coins.
Well, he's a stacker,
Yeah, and there
pure
is
blood
in
stacker.
general,
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how. I haven't been keeping up with it because I don't really stack. I mean, I have a lot of silver just because. But there was a time that the processors weren't processing 90%. I think that's changed now. So the price of 90% is probably creeping up a little bit, but I'm not sure. They might still not be processing 90%. I know nobody's processing nickels because there's still nobody in the United States. They'll buy the nickels, but they have to get enough of them to ship them out of country to have them processed, because there's something with cyanide that is done to process those. And I believe
I think
entities might be the same way.
some of that has to do with. Have you ever heard of the story of the blood bar?
I haven't, but I
So
did just hear from a wholesaler down here in Tampa that he was buying nickels still, but he can't get them processed, and he hasn't been able to get them processed ever.
Tiger and I did a story on the blood bar. We broke it apart. This was a company in Utah utilized another company. Somebody died because they didn't follow safe practices, and this was when they used to pull silver out of old X-ray films. They processed it, created bars. Ever since that case, that cyanide issue, the nickels have been a massive issue. And so I think a lot of people just don't want to deal with because there's a lot of health ramifications from that stuff.
Well, I know the 35% for sure is difficult for whatever they used making those. It's hard to purify the silver coming out of it.
So I want to finish off real quick before this gets too far off topic, and we have a tendency of doing that. I want to go back. Luther just gifted 5 memberships. Thanks, Luther. Greatly appreciate you. Donald Scott, Elite Exotics, Silverboy Blues, Marty Faulkner, and Snoopy Off Grid. All thank you for Luther for dropping those. But I wanted to go back to one other thing, and this is something that Tiger and I have a thing called Stack Collector. We do this as collectors and stackers. But I want to reiterate one thing to the real Mike Petty. Pure stackers need to understand the collectible market. And I utilize the example of when I was first really kind of getting into this, the 1996 Silver Eagle. You guys know it's a key date. There's other ones that have low mintages, 94, 95, 96 are some of the key ones. And I was having a discussion, and purist stacker, absolutely purist, doesn't do anything but wait, but will only buy things that are backed by governments. He won't do general. It's only government-based coinage. That's all it'll do, but it'll be that metal. And the conversation that I had with him was that he's like, it's just a tube of Eagles. It's $500. And I showed him that one of those tubes was going at the time for $89, $90. And he's like, well, that's fine, whatever. Okay, cool. But what I showed him is, it's like, okay, look, you sell these 25 coins at, at the price that it was going for back at the time. It was like $42, $43. And we laid out the price, and here's the number, $584 or $590 or $600. And it's like, but if you look at the collectability price and you sell these singly as collectibles, you're almost $1,200 in that same tube. And so it's important to understand, even for stackers, the collectability nature of pre-33 gold, what the key dates are, what those mint marks are. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a Liberty head and it has a D mint mark and it's from the 1830s, that's an expensive coin. So understanding the collectability, understanding the numismatic aspect of that, even for stackers, is important. So you don't have to dig into it and become a numismatist. You don't have to do what we do, but you still want to have a good understanding and a good basis for that, because you might have something in your stack that you don't realize that if you're going pure weight, you can turn that around and increase your weight 4 or 5-fold. So understanding the numismatic value of that is extremely important. That's why I want to make sure we continue to talk about stacking and the numismatic value of those items, because that's a part that a lot of the purists miss. And it's important. It really is. I haven't seen one ad. Oh, I don't know if I turned them on, but that's okay. I'll turn it off. Today's just general chit chat. It's fine. They'll eventually get turned back on.
When you're watching on a phone, the ads pop up even if there's no ads, and they're real short. They're just like a little pop-up in the chat window. My phone does it, and it doesn't do it when I watch on TV or on the computer.
Yeah, I get that. You bought pre-33 from dealers. There are no good dates. Well, let me tell you something. Dealers make mistakes.
Yeah.
Dealers make mistakes.
Don't have the time to look, or they just don't.
Yep.
They got too much to do.
And if you're buying them in bulk, they may not go through every tube. So it's important to look. It's important to know what you have. And if you're the truest and you're really tracking your weight, are you keeping spreadsheets? Are you documenting what's in that roll? Because I've seen people that buy a roll of what they think is rounds, and then they open it up and there's some eagles in there, some buffaloes in there. So it's important to analyze your stack as well. So that'll help you understand the potential value.
Educate yourself.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to educate yourself. The more education you have, the more knowledge you have, the more successful you're going to be in anything that you do.
Yep. And Mike Noodle. So just for your awareness, the real Mike Petty, Mike Noodle, he works at Harlan J. Burke, and so he's like all the time. There's mistakes made. There are things that you don't look through all the time. So again, there's opportunities. Jack Riley pulled a 21 Walker from a call bin. So again, there's onesie twosies. I got you. But so it's important to look. And again, if you know that there's the opportunity out there, it's always good to ask, because people find stuff all the time.
And heck, that's one of my favorite things to do, is go dumpster diving at the coin shows.
Yeah.
I find all sorts of good stuff in the junk bins. They don't look at anything. They're just buying stuff in bulk. And especially if it's a Lincoln cent, they're just like, well, not a key date. Dump it in. A matter of fact, I might have a good one on the desk right here that's out of a junk bin.
Well, hey, Mike, you're awesome for being here. Thank you so much for coming in and contributing to the discussion. I greatly appreciate you. But this is why we do this. It's education. It's information dissemination. And
I put something in the private chat for you.
Okay. Oh, hold on just a sec. Let me pull that up. So sorry.
Oh, I need to clean my desk.
So here's a question for you. Is a dirty desk laziness or the sign of a clean mind?
Neither.
I thought it was like part of the hobby.
It's not having enough time in the day to do everything that you want to do.
Isn't that what makes you a real collector?
Well,
Oh,
you saw what 50% of my collection is.
50% of mine is in Tupperware containers.
Garbage container.
you want to
My
look at
office
this one?
right now is terrible.
Sure.
I don't see it, but I just pulled a 44 E over S out of a junk bin.
Fantastic.
1932.
I don't see anything.
Oh, hold on just a sec. Let me switch this just a sec. I forget you're there. I have to share my screen.
Are you just now saying hi to me, Jack? I said hi to you like an hour ago.
Here we go. Let's do it this way.
Okay.
This is what he found. 32S.
Interesting.
I'm not familiar with active die pairs on 32S.
I'm going to go look right now. Yeah. No.
Is there a sheet that has all the mint mark positions for that? Because that would be one that wouldn't have a bunch of them.
I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to defer to somebody who knows more about the quarters than I do.
That mint mark is
It looks funky.
totally wrong. Totally wrong. That is a no bueno.
That 2 looks a little bit funky too.
Well, the 2s on 32s look funky, period.
They do. They do.
But yeah, that's
But even a 32P is not a common coin, is it?
32.
No.
I think all three of them are lower
That's a
mintage.
no bueno.
Let me do this. Let me pull up
Is it cast, Jack?
that was Joe.
I'm asking Jack Riley.
Oh,
in
got
chat.
you.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Mark Styles.
Go
Boy, it
to.
would be nice
Are
to
you
get-
at Washington? Are you on Washington quarters? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no good. You've already gone. It's the top one.
mint mark, no, up above that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just got to be this one. Yep, because it's 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look cast, Jack. Yeah. It's a no bueno.
So let's do
Did he say where he got it from?
He said he found it. So
Found
that's
it
the
where? Found it where? In the sidewalk? In the gutter? Found it in a roll?
Frosty. Let me send images to you. Okay, outstanding.
Yeah, Jack says it's a modern Chinese counterfeit.
So that's the way the mint
Related
mark
to
should
a
look right
large
there.
family.
Hey, Frosty.
Yeah.
I gotta take off and get going to put my fence up.
Aw.
Yeah, no worries.
But I will be on next Saturday, everybody. It was great talking to y'all again.
Good seeing you again, brother.
Bye,
Thank you.
Eric. It was so
See you
good
soon.
talking to you.
Yep, we'll talk soon.
Okay.
Bye.
So yeah, but that's what I see there. Sent to PM. Okay, hold on just a sec. Let me unshare this and pull that up.
Why are all fake coins assumed Chinese? They're not all assumed Chinese. Like Pakistan makes a bunch of them. Like there's a bunch of countries that make them, but the Chinese ones are more prevalent. and they can be traced. So when you can trust when Jack Riley says that it's a Chinese counterfeit, it's because that's where it comes from.
So here's the markers for you,
Yep.
Joe, to look at.
Well, that you can look right at that mint mark and say,
Yep.
oh, yeah, that's exactly the same.
So, and then when you're looking at the, oh, there's one there, there's that one there. I can't pull these up side by side. Let me see that one. There's the marker there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if he's still in chat, but
can't see
is
that
he
over there.
asking you your opinion or what was he?
I don't know. He just said, I sent you an email. Pull it. I want you to see it.
On the email, it doesn't say anything?
I don't know. Hold on just a sec.
Oh. Because I don't know
I
if
didn't
he's
look.
still,
I didn't look at what the email said.
he may want to reply. I don't
Oh,
know.
it says, hey, I found a coin that you might want to talk about. I put up on Facebook group. Ask. Jack told me it's a counterfeit and burst my hopes. So the 32S found a coin machine. Here are some pictures. Let me know. Oh, do you want it for teaching purposes? Absolutely.
See, it helps to read that stuff.
Yeah. I just clicked on the thing and shared it up, but
Well, I don't know if he's still in the chat, so you may want to reply to him. Many are linked to known coins originating in China. Yep. There you go. Oh, so you're calling me a racist? No, I'm just kidding, even.
so one thing about this, and again, when you're talking about counterfeits, one of the things where I get a lot of my information is from the ACEF. And when they're talking about counterfeits, you got India, you got Korea, you got, if you're looking at bills, one of the major actors
Somalia
is Peru. And so one of the super bills actually came out of Lima, Peru. It was one of the best ones. There was actually only 2 marks in the $100 bill. It was actually called the super bill. There were only 2 errors in this thing. Other than that, the bill was almost flawless. And they found a number of those. ACEF was engaged in some of those early on, along with, because again, you get a lot of these folks. Jack Young's familiar with this, along with some of the other folks that are there. Names, I'm terrible with names in that line because I just haven't dealt a lot with that yet. But a lot of those are government sponsored, state sponsored. And so China just happens to be one of the largest ones. We get tons of them, and a lot of the ones that you see, the large busts that come through are, one of the 3 major actors. The number 1 actor is China. We've talked about this before. One of the issues with China is that it's absolutely legal for them to sell fakes in China. They just have to post a certificate, a license in the stores. The ACEF actually has photos of that. They've done an article on that. And when they were there doing a review, they were actually talking with one of the gentlemen who actually showed them the sign and said, that sign says that everything in this store is counterfeit.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah,
There's an
it's
entire
posted.
mall. There's an entire mall.
It's 3 or 5 levels. I can't remember.
It is a counterfeit store mall.
Yeah.
It's a whole mall.
And so it's not always China, but for the most part, it's a pretty big one because it's state sponsored. And so that's why you see a lot of the things from there. But they're not the only ones.
And we do a lot of trade with them and a lot of commerce, and there's, there's a lot of suckers in there.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, and again, the gamut on counterfeits is massive because there are the cheap counterfeits that you see, right? The American Silver Eagles that look like they were made, from a Peanuts comic strip. Mm-hmm. And then you have, that's funny, Bellows Forge said that's nuts, and I said Peanuts about the same time that popped up. But then you have some of the ones that Jack Young has talked about over the last couple of weeks. And it is amazing to see how close some of these are. And there's, if you, again, Jack Riley's talked a lot in chat about the family of counterfeits and the die pairings of the families of counterfeits.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty significant things, but yeah, a lot of it's state actors. I won't say sponsored by the government, but supported. Because it's just too large scale. And I'll bring this up again. This is something else that I look at quite frequently. And if you haven't gone here, this is the ACEF. You're not going to see this because I'm just sharing my screen. The ACEF, there's a lot of information. You can come through and you can see the different things that are coming. You can see when the items have been updated. They haven't posted a lot of updates recently. They've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but not necessarily posting.
I think Beth just did had a new article come out.
I think it's this one. Yeah, there's not a lot of them though. I've talked to Beth and some of those folks, and there's so much going on. There's a lot of administrative stuff. They just don't have a lot of people posting. But there's a lot of stuff that they do behind the scenes. But if you want to really know and get in there, this is a good site, one of many. Yeah, Jack, exactly right. The deceptive ones use genuine coins, scan and create false dies. It's scary how good some of them are. He's brought up his 1808 a number of times. Again, these are things that PCGS and NGC and these folks have known about for years, and then all of a sudden, here we go. A couple of years go by, and they're putting them in brand new holders. And so,
even scarier as technology improves. It's just
and it's going to continue to. And this is why the information is power, right? So, really needing to know what's going on. I know that Coach's Magic. I don't know if you're still in here, but he's asked a question a couple times. For conversation purposes, not to challenge anything, but for conversational purposes, if it's such a problem, why collect coins? And my answer is always this: it doesn't matter what you collect. There's counterfeits out there. It doesn't matter if it's flip-flops, chanclas, purses, necklaces, gemstones. It doesn't matter. The 1806 half cent, yeah, fabulous. Did I say 08? 06, sorry. But there's a ton of them. The problem is that the deceptive ones, right? You can find markers, but again, some of those are red book. He calls them the red book counterfeits. Simply by looking at the resources that you have available to you, you can identify them. Yeah, it's the really, really deceptive ones that are tough, really tough.
Verify, attribute, right? Yep. Yeah. It's like Jack says, they're going to get so good that the counterfeits become genuine.
Oh, well, one of my favorite counterfeiters. We've talked about them a lot.
Most of the coins they counterfeit are really expensive coins, so I don't buy those anyway.
Yeah, one of my favorite counterfeiters, the stories, Mark Hoffman. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite quotes by him is, as soon as people start believing that the fake coin is real, for all intents and purposes, it's a real coin. And those deceptive counterfeits are designed to do just that, make people think that they're real. And so this is why I often ask young Jack Riley to come up and talk. Because again, they're doing what I call the Lord's work when it comes to coin collecting. They're out there in the trenches, digging through, finding those things, writing the articles, showing us what's going on. And it's important to understand that, it doesn't matter what hobby we're in, it's going to happen. It's just learning the details. Don't buy the holder, buy the coin, and learn the coin before you buy.
Deceived by counterfeits for decades. We were talking about one before he went live that even fooled the mint and the technical people at the mint. it fooled them. And so, yeah, they've been.
Ooh, Jack says disagree. Many of the best fakes are the lower value coins. Really?
Interesting.
I know that there was a comment by Jack Riley about one of his micro O's. Common dates are, okay. Aren't. Okay, that makes more sense. They aren't scrutinized as much. Okay. Well, I just know that you need to learn your coin. So it's important to have people like this in your network. And again, your network's one of the most important things when it comes to this hobby. That's why I love Paula and Eric and Jack and Mike and all those folks. And Jack, I'm saying Jack to both of you, not Jack 1, Jack 2. So.
Well, Henning Nichols are just like a totally first of all, you can't buy a Henning nickel for cheap. But you can cherry pick them. Amanda bought a bulk lot of nickels off of USA Coin Book one time. She knew what was in it, but the person selling didn't know what was in it. It had a Henning nickel in there. And I think she paid $10 for the whole lot. So you can cherry pick Henning nickels, but that's few and far between.
So if you guys are not tracking this, and I threw that in there, look at that mug. Hold on just a sec. Let me do it this way for Paula. Hold on just a sec.
Yeah, keep me in the loop.
There we go. Look at that mug.
I've read your articles, Jack. I just didn't know that those coins were not expensive coins.
See this right here? Look at this.
Like,
look
I'm not
at all this information.
So I don't know about those,
91 posts.
I have read every single one of his articles. I guarantee you I have read his articles.
I've read probably about 50% of them, and about 40% of them he's done on the channel. So,
I love stuff.
But I want you guys, I dropped the link in chat. Okay. I want you to go bookmark that. Anytime you're looking for coins, they're there. You can actually go up here and go into the search, and you go into home, you have a search, and just type in and then do 1806.
He won't come up.
Okay. Now, you can actually go in and it'll talk about the various ones. I love this one. If you guys haven't seen this article, this is amazing. This is his Gobrek altered surfaces. I love this particular discussion. But again, you can find all of his stuff. Just go into CoinWeek, go into the search, type in Jack Young, and then the element that you're looking for. Most likely there's going to be something on it. So that that list that I've done, again, Fun with Fakes.
There's a video on my channel up about that too from him.
Yeah, there's actually a couple really good ones on LiveCoin Q&A. And you don't think that he makes an impact within a few weeks of dropping the one video. They were taking the Morgans off of the slabs.
Like immediately.
Yeah, the Morgans. So
right after
again,
the video published, he made a comment and said,
yeah, pretty cool stuff. So go check out, again, Jack Young, look at that information, and then you'll see that there. Okay, so you'll find all of his stuff, and then you'll find various coins, but you'll see tons of information from him. So make sure you go check that out.
He does God's work.
Absolutely.
And Jack Riley is right on his coattails, man. He's right there. That kid is gonna go far.
Him and Zach. Zach, he's a smart kid too.
Winston
Zach.
Winston Zach.
Yeah, there's a lot of great people. Oh, look at this.
Yay.
Good morning.
I hear you're under the weather, brother.
I am. I'm struggling a little bit. The last week kind of got to me at work and some things. How are you?
You're going to Florida,
Good.
right? Are you going to Florida, Jack?
No, I'm not. You know, it's funny. I've never gone to a fun show, and my daughter lives in Florida, and
What?
I typically go over the 4th of July weekend, and I always go in and stop and see my friends at ICG when I go to Tampa. And
Yeah.
they keep saying, "Why don't you delay a week and come to the fun show in July?" So that is my plan for this year.
Ah,
So
you're gonna go when it's
that'll be
nice
the
and
first one I
cool.
attend. Yeah.
Gonna go in when it's all cool and brisk outside.
Yeah, it's normally 90 and yeah,
And humid.
I like heat.
I do too. I do too.
I'm
Yeah.
spoiled here. We had a
Nice.
really cold evening last night, around 42.
Whatever.
Yeah, today's only supposed to be in the mid 70s. We might get to 80. It's been a really tough January. I know there's a
Well,
lot of people out there like,
I came
screw
up
you.
because of all the noise about counterfeits. It just was going on and on. I know that's a really hot topic right now.
Yay.
It is, and you want to see hot. Hold on, just a sec. Let me pull this up real quick.
Have you ever heard of the 77/6 overdate, Lincoln said?
No.
You want to pull that up?
I can.
Yeah, do it.
This is a fun story. I just read about this. It was just posted this morning. Okay.
We need to send Coin Week a better photo of you, Jack. That one's fuzzy.
Oh,
He's a fuzzy guy.
wow.
He's warm and fuzzy. So there's a story behind this.
It looks like Play-Doh.
Well, so it's just a really bad photograph, first of all, because it was taken back in the 70s, but it probably was a Polaroid. So this thing was found by somebody supposedly in a bank roll of coins, circulated coins. It was sent to Coin Week or Coin World. Coin Week, Coin World. Hang on, I'll tell you. Sent to Coin World. It was sent to the folks at Coin World. Well, they had 3 technical guys from the mint. 2 of them looked at it right away, and the third was on vacation. He was actually at a testifying on a counterfeiting case. So when he got back, his name was Tom Urich. When he got back to the Washington, D.C. headquarters, they had him come and look at this coin. So he agreed with the other 2 workers from the mint that it was genuine. Now, there hadn't been an overdate since World War II, known on a U.S. coin since World War II. We know of the 43/42, war nickel, the 42/1, mercury dimes. So it, of course, instantly became all the buzz, right? It was published, yada, yada, yada. Well, they decided to actually go into the mint and do more of a deep dive and immediately realized that they could replicate this by making a false die. So they changed their tune. And then they caught the 2 people that were responsible for making this. And they actually were prosecuted. They found an additional 17 altered coins, and they confiscated those. Now, CoinWorld wanted to keep this coin, but they were forced by the U.S. Mint to turn it over to the Secret Service. So I don't think a lot of people are even aware that this coin ever even existed. I wasn't. This morning was the first time ever hearing about this. But I'll put the article in chat. for you guys so you guys can read about it. Oh, it's too long, Kaka. Hang on.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see the article. When was the date that this all happened?
It was in the 70s, so it was on it was 40 years ago. It was summer of 1977.
Okay.
In the summer of 1977. And I have the article here, but it's too long of a URL to put in the chat. Let me put it in the private chat. Can you see the private chat, Jack? Boy, it is a long URL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can see it. Thanks. Let me click on it.
I don't know if anybody can.
You want me to pull it up?
Yeah. Can you figure out a way to shorten it?
Hold on just a second. Let me do. I pulled something up and then it.
Chat.
Oops. Hold on.
Actually,
let me.
I have the article here. I can share it too.
I need to pull this out. I'm sharing the screen so that I can show this. Let me do it this way.
Oh, okay. So it was interesting to me that
Here we go.
3 of the main technical people from the U.S. Mint, one who was actually involved in counterfeiting and was testifying on a counterfeiting case, actually saw this coin in hand and originally deemed it real. It wasn't until they actually went and did a deep dive, and because people will often say, you'll hear a lot of people, including myself, tell you when you find something, if you can replicate it in your garage, then it is probably damaged or altered or an after mint product, a post-strike product. So when they did a deeper dive and realized that they could actually replicate it. So that's how we found out that the class 9 doubled dies, some of them are actually class 1 doubled dies, because Mint employees actually went in and realized that they could replicate. And specifically, I'm talking about the doubled piano keys on the, which quarter is that? The Duke Ellington.
I love that piece.
They, for a long time, actually, since it was discovered, they called it a class 9, a single squeeze doubled die. Well, Mint employees went in and realized that they could replicate it as a class 1. There's a whole write-up about it on Wexler's site.
Yeah, this is a really interesting story.
Oh, Luther said 3 of his kids are watching and they want some poker chips.
And I told him that I would absolutely send his kids poker chips.
Nice. Aww. I have Livecoin Q&A tattoos. And they're like permanent. Don't use them on your kids. You'll hate me.
There we go.
There you go. It's a very interesting story. And it's not often that I come across things like this that I have never heard of before. So I had to share it with you guys because I love it when I find stuff like this. And you can thank Ken Potter because he finds these things through his archives and stuff and posts them. And it just fascinates me, the stuff that he comes up with.
Well, he's somebody that I want to get on a couple times this year.
Good luck.
You don't think so? Come on, I want to do an 8-hour stream.
I have never been able to get him up on mine. He's talked about doing it with me before. He's he's talked about it many times. What he wants to do is, if he ever does it, he doesn't want to do a live. He wants to do a recorded interview.
And I have a number of people that feel the same way, and that's absolutely fine. I understand that.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if he comes up on yours before mine, him and I will no longer be friends. And and I will tell him that. I think I told Jack Young the same thing, though.
You did.
I forbade him from going on your stream for a long time.
Yeah, but you haven't had one in a while.
I know. That's why I gave you up.
I know.
I'm sorry. Your stuff had to be out there. So I would rather it be out there on Frostbite's channel than not at all. So
You and I need to do another one.
I know we do. I just told Jack Riley that last night. I did, and I'm feeling better. So yeah, so we definitely need to do it, and I need to start putting some content out again. But anyway, I just gave myself up. I am such I could never get away with anything. I would be a horrible criminal. I tell on myself all the time. Jeremiah's gonna be like, "What do you mean? You told him not to come on my chat." I did. I said, "He can't have you."
She did. It's true.
It's true. Oh well. I'm sorry.
That is a great story, though. I had never heard of that one either.
I
That's
know,
awesome.
isn't it? Good
Yeah,
morning,
it is.
Pedro. Sorry, Jeremiah. I love you. I gave him up to you. Oh, well, you've been called that before. Sorry. Ugh.
The one-handed bandit is back. I'm not. I must have missed something. What's the one-handed bandit?
What is the one-handed bandit?
Well, a slot machine normally, but
I thought that was the one arm.
yeah.
I do need to put more content.
EMR says, yeah, you need to do more. Oh,
That's my name.
he's referencing you.
Oh, that's my name. Shomer's my maiden name. I go by
Facebook
that.
isn't fit for privacy. Discord boycotted. So perhaps there's a decent forum. I should try it. We need privacy, anonymity, do the coin silver. Yeah, there's a lot of people that say the same thing when it comes to stacking and protecting stuff. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of true anonymous platforms out there. So
Yeah, especially when I'm around. Sorry.
you have to be you have to be aware of that when you set stuff up. A lot of people don't think about it. They set their stuff up and then it morphs into something else. We've dealt with this with a number of other channels as well. So it's just something that there's a lot of people that just don't like certain aspects, but you need to create specific accounts.
Discord confuses me. I just don't. I'm on a couple people's Discord, Michael Kittle's, and I don't know. I never go on it, so I don't know why I'm like. I don't like it.
If you want B Woods email, exclamation point email, we'll pull up my email. You'll see it pop up here in just a second. You can send me a photo, ask me or tell me exactly what it is that you're looking for.
I know.
But don't just say, what do you think? Right? Tell me what it is that you want to know about it. And then I'll forward this to the people who look at it. We can get you some information. You know who else I want to get up? You need to do some lives, but I need Amanda. I want to get Amanda on too.
No, I know.
I need to get Amanda on. Because I don't know, you guys know this, but she is a quiet force. That lady's so stinking knowledgeable, and she's absolutely. We need to get her. We need to get her engaged. Love that lady.
Send him pictures.
Sending Frosty feet pics now.
Feet pics? Ew. I don't like feet.
Matter of fact, you know what? I want you guys to do me a favor. Okay.
Don't
I
send me
want you to
food.
go to Live Coin Q&A.
Oh,
I want you to go find one of the shorts that Amanda's done, and I want you all to tell her you love her.
yeah.
Do that for me, please.
Watch the one that she made with the comic strip.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Hey, Jack, take care, brother. Have a good day.
Oh, Jack, talk to you. I'm sure I'll be talking to you today.
So, Jack, what are your plans in 2026? Do you have anything you really want to focus on?
Well, I'm getting to the point where I'm considering whether or not I'm going to retire from my day job and have actually some more time to focus on some of the things that I really enjoy, which are the counterfeit detection and articles. Luther had a note up there. I just went up and scrolled about I should have my own channel, and I've thought about that as well. You and I talked in one of the chit chats. I did a podcast with Ben the Coin Geek, and met him in Indiana, and he went over some of the coins in my case, and we talked about the counterfeits. And I don't know, it was a 20-minute video or whatever, and he just did a weekend summary saying that it just blew up, and it's at 19,000 views, and I'm quite surprised that had happened like that. But it basically tells me that there's a lot of interest in the topic of counterfeits, and they're not going away. You and I talked about the 1806 half cents. Two more got certified this past year after we put out notices about them years
Yep.
and years ago. And so I'm just really thinking about what's the best way to get some of this information out so that it takes hold. And I don't really know how to do that just yet. But obviously I love this format. I've just been looking at any format that I can come up with that to help get the word out as I continue to do this. There was a point when the counterfeit ring that I really chased back in 2015, 16, 17, when it got shut down, I really wondered what I was going to do from there. And of course, the counterfeit threat has exploded since then with the Morgans and all the things out there. But there's so many different levels of deceptive counterfeits, and then I try to break those down and again present them in as many formats as they can. But with the popularity of and people asking the number of questions, it's obvious we're just not reaching as many people as maybe we could. And so I'm trying to figure out a better way to do that. I have been previewing a lot of my articles here, and I enjoy that. And the one I did on the latest level counterfeits, where they have a counterfeit PCGS authentication site. I mean, that's really bad. I mean, that's gotten
That's
to a,
wicked. Yeah.
and so I work with Michael and Proxy. Coin Week is going to bring it out, and Coin World is interested in a version of it as well. And so I want to try to get that one out as far as I can as well. So just looking at what can I do going forward. I want to go to a couple coin shows this year, and I always enjoy that. And see if I can possibly do a few more exhibits and get some more content out there as far as the counterfeits and where we're going with that.
Well, just so you're aware, the order was placed. You know what that means.
I do, and that'll be awesome. And
Yeah.
I've been using that image, and I actually used it in what I just submitted to.
Did you get stickers?
What now? I didn't understand what you said.
I don't think I'm supposed to say anything, so I just won't.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I just said, did you get stickers?
No.
Oh.
No, I did
I
something
know what it
cooler.
is.
Poker
But-
chip.
But it's going to be but it's going to be cool. And again, the avatar that I have for this is what I've been using, and I've been using that now to close out my articles. So people are going to start seeing that.
That was fun to create.
That was fun all around. Yes,
And the video that I did when we released it, did you like that one?
I did. The video was awesome. Absolutely.
Where it had that song "Hell's Coming With Me." I thought that
Yes.
was just funny.
That
I was
was
like, I
really
like
cool.
that. Yeah.
That was really cool. But it's interesting when I went to Indianapolis and I talked about my my display there, it was very popular, and I was giving away your poker chips, and I ran out. I mean, there was that much interest, and hopefully that's actually helped, to get the word out about your channel. And but people really thought it was cool, and I explained who you were and what you were doing, and that was just part of the display that I had there.
Well, there's been a couple of people that have reached out to me that said, I think there's 3 or 4 that said, "Hey, got a poker chip from Jack at the coin show and wanted to come in and check you out." So
That
it
is pretty
definitely
cool.
brought some people to the channel. One thing that I want to do, and you guys know my frustration, right? I'd work really hard to put out really good content. I'm just not getting the views. I get the decent views on the live streams. We get 5, 6, 700 people to come in periodically, check out 10, 15, 20 minutes of the show. But I'm not getting the views on videos, and
I'm
I'm trying to
telling
figure out how
you,
to do that.
I have been in this coin community, in this YouTube world for many, many years. And I'm telling you that it is not you. Ken Peavy struggled with this for years. If you are not doing clickbait stuff, educational stuff just does not get it's just not going to grow like you want it to.
I got a question about that though, Paula. Yeah, you know Ben the Coin Geek.
Yeah, but Ben does little short things. He doesn't do real long videos.
Oh, he's done some fairly long ones, but he's
He's
not throwing clickbait out there. I don't see that.
No, he's not throwing clickbait out there. But Ben also, I mean, he doesn't have the subscriber count that he should have. But he doesn't. It's still shorter stuff, right? And he doesn't do lives. Every once in a while, he'll do a live if he's at a show or something like that. But for the most part, and he talks about a lot of like values and things like that, like coin dealer stuff.
Well, and so there's something to that, because if you're a dealer and you have access to coins and you can walk through and look at a shop, a lot of people like to see this stuff. I'm not. And so I can present a couple coins, but I don't have the volumes of coins or silver or gold they have. That makes a huge difference. A great example of that is My Not Coins and Bullion. They do that. They did the auctions, but when they first came up, man, they went off with a bang. Why? Well, they were showing tons and tons and tons of stuff in their videos.
Yeah.
People like to see the shiny. People like to see that stuff. And I don't have that capability. So having a storefront is a massive boon to getting subscribers on here, because again, people also know, and we've talked about this before, one of the problems, and Ben the Coin Geek is not a problem, but one of the problems is that people think that just because they own a coin shop means they're knowledgeable. And we have dispelled that myth a number of times. And so there are people out there who are really good. There are people out there who have a lot of knowledge, but there's a lot of people who have coin shops that when it comes to counterfeit detection or stuff like that, they just don't know. They're pushing volume.
Let's see.
And so the other thing is those people who buy.
For 7 years, and he only has 34,000 subscribers.
Yeah, Ben's a stud.
Like I was saying, there are times where some of his posts are getting 1,000 to 2,000 views.
Yeah.
You had almost 2,000 views on one that you did, where you did it both horizontal and verticals, one of your lives, and it pushed 2,000. But for whatever reason, the topic of counterfeits is now at 18,000 views for Ben. So,
it's popular. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's a popular thing. He also does a lot of interviews with people, and he interviewed me, and that one flopped. So I don't know.
No, it's Ken Peavy used to, and Bill 457, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's been in the community long time too. And a lot of people have, and they remember Ken Peavy. And Ken used to go on, he'd go on sometimes at midnight and be on till like 6 in the morning. Like he tried everything. And that man was smart, and he did some of the best educational stuff out there. But for whatever reason, people don't want to spend the time learning. They don't want to watch longer videos. They want the 30-second little short crap and the clickbait stuff. And that's it. And if you're not willing to do that and to take that, whatever, which I hope you're not and don't ever, you have to just be happy with organic growth and not pull your hair out trying to figure out YouTube algorithms or whatever else, because you will drive yourself nuts. It drove Ken crazy trying to figure out why his stuff was good, or like one video would get a ton of views and another one would flop, and one month would be great, another month would be terrible. And when you're doing educational stuff, I just think there's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't want you to like pull your hair out and drive yourself crazy with this, because I've watched people, for a long time in this community trying to get good information out there and drive themselves crazy trying to figure out why they weren't, you know. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of people out there who are buying subscribers, so do not compare yourself to those people. Don't get me on that rant again. But
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. And
yeah,
one thing, so you guys are aware what happened about a year and a half ago on my channel when I changed from coins and collectibles just to Frostbite coins. I changed the general look, changed the color scheme, and it just so happened to match a release that was happening with a crypto company called Frostbite. It's a Indian-based company, and they were going through, saw the color scheme of the channel, figured that they had missed something. They added me to their big marketing push. I don't know how the hell it happened, but all of a sudden I got like 1,800 subscribers from India. I had no idea where it was coming from. Contacted a guy that I was trying to do some stuff with because I want to get different people from different places in. And he's like, well, I've seen your channel on this. And he represented what happened. And we went back through, contacted the company. And he goes, oh, you're not affiliated with us. And the next day it ended. And all of those subscribers yielded in almost no additional views. So buying subscribers doesn't help. It might artificially boost your numbers. The problem with that, and we've talked about this a lot over the last year, people equate more subscribers to knowledge.
yeah,
And that's a problem.
yeah. That
And
is a
so
problem.
well, I really try to just put out the best quality content that I can and bring up people who are knowledgeable. I understand I can't learn all this stuff. There's people that have been doing this for decades. And then here I am a couple years into this. I can't expect to know everything. So what I really try to target myself to is building those relationships, utilizing the network, growing that network, and then relaying that to you. But most of the information that I provide, yes, I'm good at research. I will give myself that. That's about the one thing I will say I'm good at. I'm also good at putting videos together. But I just have to understand that it'll come in time. And my goal of 7K this year, I was 3 days off, but I was able to hit it. There's a lot of hard work in that. Lots of hours the last week and a half to try to get that number. And it will grow. I know it will grow. It's going to take time. But what's more important to me is I want people who want to know the content. I want people like Jack. I want people like Paul. I want people like Eric and Chuck Daughtry and Mike, Jack Riley. I want those folks to come on because they're genuinely knowledgeable. They have great stories. They really understand this stuff. And the channel's more to push their content than it is my own.
Well, a lot of people think that they're going to come on YouTube, they're going to start a YouTube channel, and they're going to make a living off of it.
because they see
There
people
are-
like Eric, the channel goofball dude. Yeah.
Well, there are very few people on YouTube who actually make a living off of it. Just by the channel alone. Now, there's other things that they make money, other things that you can make money off of. You can get sponsorships. You can, get people to throw money at you left and right. I've seen that happen. But on just the channel alone, from viewers and clicks and things like that, very few people make anything off of their YouTube channel.
I break even for what I put out for the tools and stuff that I utilize, software, editing software, things of that nature. I break even, but again, we're talking, $250 a month. It barely pays for all my subscription services and editing fees and everything else that I have to do. So I'm not profiting off of it, but I'm not spending money. I'm not losing money doing it.
Well,
And that's been a boon.
Tons of content left and right. I mean, all kinds of stuff. We rarely made $100. Rarely.
And most of this is just basically, we all want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the love of the hobby and the love of the research and the love of that. The very first article that I got published in Coin World, I was asked what was my number to have it published, and I said 0. I just want to get the word out. And the second article, I've been asked again, what's my number? The kids got to eat, and it's like I do this for the love of the hobby, and I do this in my spare time, so I don't have a number.
Well, it started to feel like one of the reasons why we quit doing the live coin Q&A is because it was feeling like a job. And we weren't, like, the pay sucked because it was 0. But even right now, it's been a year, more than a year, since we have been consistently like a weekly stream. I have over 300 emails in our inbox right now. And so when I'm dedicating, 3, 4, 5 hours a day answering people's emails, and we're getting 20 people in the chat on our live stream, that's when it's over. Because people used us. They liked that they could send us, we were different. They liked that they could send us their questions, they could send us their photos, we would talk about their coins, but they didn't want to do anything for us in return. So it became unsustainable. So we are pulling our hair out, Amanda and I right now, trying to figure out how we can come back and do content and not make it into a job again. So bye, Mike Noodle. When are you guys streaming again? It's after the new year. Coin Show Podcast. You guys are not subscribed to them. You need to subscribe to the Coin Show Podcast. Bye, my friend.
Yeah, B Woods, that's fine. You could send to me. It's okay. I don't know how long it's going to take for that to come across, but it'll come across. I haven't seen it yet.
Enough about me. Let's talk about frostbite.
Well, no, but again, so the one thing about doing content, and I enjoy doing content. I enjoy having you guys on. I enjoy talking about stuff. But one of the issues is I will never allow this to become work for me. I do it because I enjoy it. And just like yesterday, folks, if I need a day off, I'm sorry, I'm taking a day off. I have no problem. I maintain a steady schedule, but I understand what matters in my life. And as much as I love this channel, it's second to family. So if I want to take time and spend time with family, folks, I love you guys, but my family's more important. And so when my wife says, "Hey, I want to go have brunch," I leave.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's my life. But if you guys want something, if there is something that you guys want, or you want to learn, or you want to know more about something, please let me know. And I will be more than happy to look at it.
At least you know that the people who come to yours want to be here, and they want to be here for the right reasons. You know, you see channels out there that all they do is giveaways, right? Just giveaway, 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 and their channel never grows. People in their channel are consistent. They go in there all the time, but they don't promote that person ever, and their channel just never grows. So, and people promote you. I see you being promoted all the time. So at least you know that people find your content valuable, and they're not just here for giveaways, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very sad when you see that, when you see a person being taken advantage of.
Hey, Sue, thanks so much for being here. We're going to be wrapping stuff up.
Hi, Sue, my shoulder buddy. Good luck with your physical therapy on Friday. I think that's when you said Friday.
Luther says, Frosty, your energy is different. I appreciate it.
Yes, it is.
I try to make it fun. One of the things that we talk about, and Jack and I have talked about this a couple of times, it's hard to talk about the same stuff week after week and make it enjoyable. Right. And so try to find ways to bring stuff in. This is one reason that I've what am I good at? I'm good at storytelling. I'm good at doing research. I'm good at doing that kind of stuff. And people enjoy that. Not a lot of people talk about the numismatic stories. So Pedro, I'm going to block you, dude. He knows I hate that word. I hate synergy. That word was so overused in the 90s and the 2000s. I hate that word. He remembers that about me and throws that in there every once in a while.
Funny.
Bye,
Anita.
See ya, folks. But again, Jack bringing the information. There's a lot of stuff that, yeah, you know what? We talk about stuff over and over again, but you absolutely have to. I need to get a little bit better at storytelling. I enjoy doing it. I need to get a little bit better at my writing. But you guys have enjoyed that, and hearing the old stories and the train robberies and the myth thefts, and I've gotten amazing feedback for that. So I'm going to continue that. Again, next week we're going to do San Francisco. We're going to break that down, and then we'll talk about that. And then the following week we're going to do a little bit longer one on Philadelphia, and then that'll wrap up all the mints. And then we'll go to with the next item, and I'll keep you guys informed of what that's going to be. But I want to continue to make it fun. And Paula and Eric and Jack, you guys all help that. So I appreciate you.
It's all Jack.
I enjoy being here. This is fun to me.
I'm so glad you came up. I was so worried that I
Yeah,
never.
we just don't want to talk about, DC. That'd be good.
I know. I was gonna just saying that. I was so worried that I'd never hear from you again after.
Oh, no, not at all. It just went somewhere where I didn't intend it to go.
Well, next
not my
I'll talk about Ron Landis. Well, we can't talk bad about him because but you may not even know about him, but anyway.
I know that name.
Similar stuff, or did similar stuff. I love Ron Landis stuff. So Ron Landis did the Segs nickels for the nickel club. Oh gosh. Anyway, he did the restrikes of the original Felix Schlag Jefferson nickel design.
Ron and I talked on a regular basis.
Oh, you know Ron, or knew Ron?
Absolutely, knew Ron. Yes,
and love his
because
stuff.
there were Chinese counterfeits of his stuff, and it was like,
really?
Oh yeah, fakes of fakes. Absolutely.
I have a bunch of his stuff.
And then some of those would be weathered, and they try to sell them as genuine, and I would show them to Ron, and we'd have a chuckle and talk about it. and he would show me the diagnostics, so we go forward from there. But there was a 1796 large cent that was a counterfeit that a dealer who should have known better sold it to someone that approached me on it, and I knew what it was. And I sent images to Ron, and it was something that he had put together. And it was unfortunate. The dealer refunded the money and took the coin back. I actually wrote a little Coin Week art or an EAC Pennywise article on it. I started
Oh, you gotta send that to me.
and it was an interesting article and it was an interesting issue. But yeah, he and I talked right up
That
to the
is
end. I mean, I
incredible.
really enjoyed my conversations
That
with
was
him.
a surprise.
He was an artist. I mean, he really was good, and
I am a huge fan of his. In fact, I've given away some of his overstrikes on Frostbite's channel, and
Yep.
um, I bought a bunch of them. His Buffalo Nickel and Jefferson, and
I
uh,
have a whole roll of his stuff that I was
yeah.
and a lot of times I will give those out to young numismatists that come to my when I have a display at a show, and I'll explain it to them and give them one of them. They're pretty cool.
I bought a set of his. I still have not been able to. I think that they're the 1999, the original ones that he did for the Jefferson Nickel Club. The Felix Schlag Nichols, is it Schlag? Schlag? I bought a set of his more recent ones that he did, and I love those. I think they should have gone with that design, but whatever.
Well, he did a lot of
So
early copper, and
He
he made
did.
them really good. I mean, he even marked the edges properly. I've got a 1793 with the proper edge markings, and it's like that's really pretty scary.
Well, he has a YouTube channel. Yeah, and he has great videos on there, with him making dyes. So, yeah, I loved his I don't know if you know he has have watched his YouTube stuff, but he has some great stuff on there.
B Wood, you have to be careful doing that. It can actually cause them to complain and argue with you about uh, hashtagging them in like comments and stuff. I've done that before, but you have to talk to them ahead of time. It's against to use somebody's hashtag or the @ in your comments to get people to pull in. It's actually against the YouTube community thing. You can actually get a strike from doing that if people complain. So you have to be careful tagging folks. I've seen a lot of people do that. I've seen channels get reprimanded hardcore for it. But I want to do two things. So he pulled up a couple coins. He talked about these a moment ago. I want to show these, and then I want to show you two things, and then we're going to go.
Okay.
So here is the first one that he sent.
Oh,
That is
that
post mint damage.
it is post mint damage. Post
That's
minting or post strike damage, yes.
yep. So you can tell
And
that by the
normally,
way that the metal's been pushed out.
yes.
Yep. So we look a little bit closer. You can see how the metal's folded and pushed over that way.
Yeah.
You can see how that's been pushed across.
That would not happen during the strike. If
Nope.
if that happened during the strike, like from a structure or something, the metal would flow inward toward the defect.
And then there was this one. Can't tell quite what that is.
It's like
Um,
Saka on the coin.
yeah. And then this is probably
It may also be Kaka on the coin, or it could be just a little grease, structure grease.
yep. Looks like a 44. Can't quite tell. And then the last one is somebody put some heat or something on their rotary tool.
Yeah, that is, and you probably can see that on the reverse too. Do you have a reverse photo of that?
He doesn't. I didn't get the reverse on that one.
And there's probably corresponding damage to the reverse, but yeah, that's also damage. They're
Yep.
all post-strike damage. Those did not happen during the minting process, unfortunately.
So I'm going to move this, and I'm going to show you something that Bifrost has done. It's going to be sideways.
Not a goiter.
Look at that. Let me pull this.
Wow.
So you can see it's
That's crazy.
so he just finished that. It's huge, by the way. Um, so cool piece. But
That
she's
is
done a lot
really
of
cool. Gosh, she's
this is
talented.
she did this for me. She's got another piece, but this is for her old man. But there's one other thing that I want to do, and I'm going to be doing a video on this, but I want to show you. I'm going to shift this.
Didn't hear what she
And
said. The Steelers. I said it's got gunk on it, but it could be a. You said it's that one that 40 was a steel scent.
it looked like a 44.
He said it's a steel scent, so it would be a 43.
Okay. Looking at the coin, it looks like a 44. I can pull that back up. You guys remember this?
Well, we would
This is my,
know if it's a steel scent.
yeah, we'll have to
Yeah,
look at it and see.
it was B Woods.
Do you remember this?
Did we lose Jack?
No, I see Jack here.
Oh, I remember that. Oh,
So I am doing an experiment, and
oh yeah.
I am utilizing the various polishes to clear the plastic off. So I am getting ready to do my video. It's been 1 month. Every month I'm going to report on this to see any changes. And as of right now, there's no changes. So we'll talk a little bit about this. Watch for that video. It's going to be released probably tomorrow. So check that out. We'll be talking about that, but that's going to be the next update. This will be updated every month. We'll talk about this around the 4th or 5th of the month. We'll talk about this, see if there's any changes. We'll look at the surface, and then we'll look at the coin. And I'm cataloging these, documenting these. If you want to know more about this, make sure you're subscribed and check it out. We'll talk about that.
Cool.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, B Woods, it was just damage. The 4 could possibly be, or the 43, the steel scent, could possibly be a structure grease, but I can't really tell from the photo. But either way, it's got damage. So.
Yeah, and that there's a lot of dye deterioration on that. If it is a 43 Steely, there's a lot of dye deterioration on that. You can see that around the rim. So I can pull that back up if you want, but yeah, they were all damaged.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, thank you for coming up, brother. I hope you're doing well, and looking forward to coming up. Are you going to talk? Do you want to do next week, San Francisco?
Yeah, I think we can come up with some things to do. Yeah.
Okay, I'll pull up. I'm going to write a story about the 49ers, and I'll take it. San
Don't talk
Francisco
about the
treat.
49ers. They lost yesterday. I'm so sad.
Yeah, they did lose.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sad.
But for those of you
But
who
they're still
don't
in the
know,
playoffs, so there's still. So you're saying there's a chance?
for those of you who don't know, the 49ers were named after the gold rush. Right? It's not an arbitrary name, just so you know. Unfortunately, they don't play like they're gold people.
Oh right, no, they do. They just have. So we first of all we have a ton of injuries on our team.
Wow, wow.
We had no pass rushing. No pass rushing, but we still held them to 13 points, 13-3. I don't think that's a blowout. Our offense couldn't do anything, but even though our defense was terrible, we still held them to 13 points. So
Very, very cool. Well, hey, you guys, thanks so much for coming up and hanging out. It's good to talk with you guys again. I hope you all have a wonderful 2026. Again, I will be putting out some information about what's going on.
He's a rock star. You kidding me? Did you watch him last week? Right. Anyway.
How about them Ducks? All right, folks.
Purdy was so good last week that they were saying that they needed to test him for illegal substances. Come on now. Anyway, have a blessed Sunday, everybody. Go to church.
There's no passion there, by the way. Can you tell? All right, folks. Well, hey, as always, thank you so much. We will talk with you guys later. Love you guys.